I'm out here in Joshua Tree right now. This is my home base, just out doing some desert riding in the middle of June. And, made me think about my own personal safety. And as beautiful as it is, there's just people being pulled out of here and rescued all the time. So one of the first things I would mention is the lighting on this video is probably not very good, and that's because the sun is directly overhead of me right now, because it is probably getting close to about 1 in the afternoon, which technically is not the time that you want to be out here. Now, again, I started the ride early this morning. I left my house at 8 a.m. I was on the trailhead by 9:30 or 10. Even that was a little bit later than I would have liked. I started at sea level. The temperature up here said the high was going to be 98 today, but I was starting more near Coachella, that area, and it probably was 100 degrees. So certainly one of the first things you got to think about is the time of day. If you're going to hike out here, if you're going to ride out here, try to do it early in the morning. That's your best bet. Anytime from like 1 in the afternoon till, the sun's starting to go down, or, 5 o'clock or so, something like that, it's going to be pretty hot. It does, as soon as the beating sun goes away, it is much, much better. So think about the time of day that you're riding. Second thing, make sure you let somebody know where you're going to be. I like to do these rides solo. It's part of the fun for me, and it is part of the adventure. I did get a little scared today at a couple spots, but that's part of feeling alive and being out here. So, I let my girlfriend know, here's what time I'm starting. If you don't hear from me by, 2 in the afternoon today, you know where to find me. And I told her, here's where I'm starting the route. Here's the road it's going to connect to inside Joshua Tree, so you know where to tell them to look for me. I have a Garmin 701 GPS unit. Obviously, you want to have some navigation, but this also has Garmin InReach SOS system. So you want to have something like that, a Spot, a small Garmin unit, something like that on you for worst case scenarios. A little tip, and I'm using this new Ape Cat from Moto. This is my first time out with it, and I love this little chest pack. And I'm keeping my cell phone in here, but here's a little trick. I have a freezer pack. I put it in a Ziploc bag so no moisture comes out. But this keeps my phone from overheating. So even though you might not have cell service in a lot of these areas, there are a lot of spots where you would have cell service. Or in the event that you break down and you have to walk out of here, there's going to come a spot where you're going to hit some cell phone service, and it'll suck if your phone won't turn on because it's too hot. So that's just a little trick there. I have a ton of water with me. I have a 1.5 liter hydration pack in the Moto here. I had two other, 1 liter thick, 2 liters of water in the bags. I have a small ice pack, little cooler thing with me as well, that I had a couple cold waters and a couple Coke Zeros in there. So plenty to drink is super important. I also, in my side pouch here of the Ape Cat, I have protein bar, just some stuff that can get hot, like a power bar type of thing, but one that won't get all melted on you. I have like a beef jerky thing, stuff like that. I have some snacks, just in case. Again, I am here longer than I think I'm going to be. Now, a couple other things that you might not think about. If I got to walk out of here, I don't want to be doing it in my motorcycle boots and these heavy pants. So I brought a pair of shorts, and I have my gym shoes with me. The riding jersey is actually very good for being out here because you really do want long sleeves. And some people would say long pants. So if you have lightweight long pants, that would be good. But me personally, I'd probably still go with the shorts. Another thing I have with me on the bike is a very small tarp. It rolls up about this big. And one of the big things you'll really notice out here, like I'm up a little bit still at elevation right now. And that's the other reason why I'm not worried standing here in this sun, because it's actually not that hot right here. I'm back up at elevation. I'm probably at 2,500 feet, something like that, right around 3,000 feet. If you see Joshua trees, they generally grow 3,000 feet and above. They have a very small range that they grow. So we are at least 3,000 feet. So it's much cooler here than it was when I started the ride. Plus, there's actually kind of a nice breeze. So the one thing you could add to that would make it actually like really comfy would be shade. Shade is everything out in the desert. Now, in my pack here, the hydration pack, I have water mixed with Gatorade. So water is great and you need a ton of it, but you are losing sodium, so you want to replace that. The other thing I have with me is a little package of LMNT, which is like a hydration mix. It's very salty the first time you taste it. It feels like you're drinking salt water. But once you get used to it, it tastes great. And, you know, it's an electrolyte drink. So that can really make a difference in replenishing those fluids if something did happen. I've had a smooth ride. I've got plenty of fuel with me. You know, this bike has a low fuel capacity. It's only 2 gallons, 80 to 100 miles maybe. But I knew this route. I knew the distance. However, even with that said, I do have a fuel canister on the back attached to one of the bags there with some extra fuel. It would be enough to go 30 miles probably. So always good to think ahead. Why would you want to have extra gas even if you know you've got plenty to make the route? Well, this route turns off a couple different areas back there. I almost went the wrong way today. So it's easy to get lost. It's easy to run out of water. And I see so many stories of like a couple will go hiking and you see a picture when search and rescue finds them and they're just not prepared. You know, they're each like got one little water bottle with them, no hydration packs, you know, they're just not prepared. One last thing that I would show you, but I lost it on the trail, is a hat. So if I had a hat, I'd be wearing it right now for sure. So I'm going to get going here in a minute so I don't burn the top of my head. But again, a hat, and I use kind of like there's a company called Mission that makes these hats that you can soak them, get them wet, and then put them on, and they kind of cool you. I don't know what you would call it. It's got a brim all the way around. That's a great hat, and you can roll it up into a little ball, something like that to bring with you. Yeah, it's a lot to bring. It's almost like I brought camping gear for a day ride that's only going to be a few hours. But since I'm not camping and I don't have a shortage of space that I need to worry about, I'm not going to risk it. So I brought more than I need to make sure that I'm safe out here in the desert. One other thing I think that is important is to study your route a little bit so that if you do break down, you have a good idea of where you're going. North, south, east, west, where is the closest help? If you've looked at that on the map, you might already know, okay, my quickest way to a ranger station area or a park entrance or to a major road is this direction, and that's the direction I'm going to go. I also, in my tank bag here, have a small survival knife. It's got a compass on it. Okay, so this one you can wear around your neck. So I could take this with me if I have to walk away from the bike. It's a good thing to have on the bike, even if you're not planning on filming anything for a stupid YouTube video or anything like that. Why is that? Well, because you can pop that thing up in the air, look at the screen, and see what's around you and see if there's a highway or, again, civilization of some point. Help find your way out by sending that drone up in the air. Don't take it lightly. You know, some of this might seem like overkill, and you know, maybe it is. I don't care. You know, I'm out here by myself, and it's gorgeous. I love it. But I want to be safe. I think that's pretty much it. If I forget anything, I'll put it in the description down below. All right, I'm going to get back on the bike and finish up this ride. Thank you.